Hi, this is Shiva Rajaya from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about vital sex and tantric sex, and the topic for this video is how tantric sex can stop porn addiction. I'm not saying that this is going to work every single time, and I didn't tap into research on that. What I'm sharing here are feelings, okay, open ideas on this topic. When you wake up with your sexual energy, you are going to tap into a vehicle, into a certain set of practices, behaviors, and those behaviors are going to be projected from society. It means that you are going to include into your love life, into your sex life, things that you have been exposed to. So there is a certain level of sexual conditioning. And if you are sexually active, you need a certain vehicle or a certain set of practice or a certain set of beliefs, a certain way of having sex, a certain way of engaging that is the result of your sexual preferences or the sexual preferences that you have been exposed to. So tantric sex is a sex vehicle. What happens is that the moment you start engaging sexually using tantric sex, that gives you a vehicle. It's a set of values, beliefs, energy, cultural images, invocations, practices, techniques. And the moment you start integrating these practices in your life, naturally whatever else you might have been doing that is related with sex will be naturally replaced and by the new techniques that you are using. So I've never been into porn myself, uh, but what I've been tapping into is directly the erotic power of things that are related with the tantric sex. It means that I have a very, active mind when it comes to sexual practice. For instance, I might fantasize a lot, or I have pictures of the erotic temples of India in my space over here, or I am comfortable with sexual conversations. I'm comfortable with experimenting and with sexual practices. So there is a certain set of beliefs, a certain set of practices, and what tends to happen is that if you are not using a certain vehicle, then you are going to use another one. And for those who are into porn, that becomes your set of beliefs, practices, energetic, emotional associations. So what you're doing is like you are naturally starting to transfer your sexual energy into a new vehicle. And once this vehicle is activated, then the natural tendency or urge to go and watch porn and use porn will decrease, because you get much more juice and pleasure from the tantric practices. It's like when it comes to nutrition, what's the best way to shift from one nutritional habit to another? It's really, or to get rid of a certain nutritional habit, is to use what we call a replacement tactic. And the replacement is like, instead of eating chocolate, you're going to eat raw cacao nibs with cashews and some raisins, which give you the fat, the sugar, and the activation kick that is contained in the raw cacao. The same, for instance, instead of using cheese, you might be using coconut, which is fat and proteins in both cases. So that's the idea when it comes to sex, different sexual behaviors. If you are into kinky practices, or if you're into porn, or if you are in just the traditional household sex, or if you are into tantra, all those different vehicles sometimes merge and overlap. But if you are a lot into porn, then try replacing and moving your sexual energy into the tantric field. And I'm sure that the moment you start tapping into the fun and the pleasure that you get from the tantric energy, tantric sex energy, then naturally the urge or the desire to tap into porn will be withdrawn out of your system, because you have other alternatives, other options to use your sexual energy in more constructive ways. That's my 2 cents on this one. Hope you have fun.